Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We are learning Mishna Beitza, Perek Gimel, Chapter 3, Mishna Beis. Now, an introduction. Items that one does not anticipate using on Yontif are muktzah, may not be used or moved on Yontif. For this reason, animals living in the wild at the start of Yontif are muktzah, even if they become caught in a trap on Yontif. Because before Yontif, they're out in the wild, and you were not anticipating using them.
Mm-hmm.
However, animals that had been caught in a trap before Yontif are not muktzah if one intended to use them on Yontif. Right? They were trapped before Yontif. You intended on using them, and so again, you're anticipating using it on Yontif, and you'll use it on Yontif. Our Mishnah discuss what happens if you find an animal in a trap and you're not sure when it was caught. Was it caught before Yontif? Was it caught on Yontif? So Mitzaydes Chaya v'Oifadagim. Traps for wild animals, birds, fish. Sha'ason Merev Yontif. You set them up from before Yontif. And on Yontif, you see something's in there. Lo yito mehen b'Yontif. You cannot take what's been trapped from them on Yontif. Unless you know that they were trapped from before Yontif. That means, according to the Tanakh, according to this opinion, if you are in doubt as to whether they were caught or not, you have to be stringent and consider them muktzah. Now, the halacha of muktzah is a derabbanan. It's a rabbinic law. And typically the rule is that a subject derabbanan l'kula. When you have a doubt regarding a rabbinic law, you can be lenient, which in this context would mean that you should be able to use the animal. However, this Tana holds that when it comes to muktzah, the Chachamim were stringent, and even in a case of doubt, they said you have to be stringent and consider it muktzah. So that is the opinion of the Tanakh. So unless you know somehow or another that they were caught in there from before Yontif, then you can't use it. Just trying to look here. Right. Okay. Now, the Mishnah continues. Now, the Mishnah continues, but actually, it's been pointed out in the Bartanura that there's a number of words worth missing in the Mishnah. We just had an opinion that said that if you have a doubt whether they were in the trap or not, you have to be stringent and say they're muktzah. Rabbi Gamliel's opinion, not specifically mentioned in the Mishnah, but very clearly from the second half of the Mishnah, it'll be clear what he holds, is that when it comes to a suffix in this case, the suffix whether the animal was trapped or not on Yontif or before Yontif, that we do not say it's muktzah there. And we see that from the next part of the Mishnah. Really, the Gemara says there's words missing, but it's clear the words are missing because of the fact of this next part of the Mishnah. Umaise benachri echad. There was a story regarding one non-Jew, Shehevi Dagav Rabban Gamliel. He brought fish on Yontif from Rabban Gamliel. So the question was, were these fish caught before Yontif or not? V'amar mutarinheim. Gamliel said they're permissible. But I don't want to take it from him. Meaning, the Nachri came, and Rabban Gamliel did not want to take it from him. Rabban Gamliel clarified, not because there's a halachic issue, mutarinheim, they're permissible. Meaning, it's clear that according to Rabban Gamliel, if there's a suffix, if there's a doubt when they were caught, you can be lenient and assume they were caught before Yontif. But he explained, I don't want to take it from this guy. I don't like him. I don't want to deal with him. So therefore, I don't want to take it from him because I don't want to have anything to do with him. But it's not a halachic issue of muktzah that I'm not taking it from him, because actually, from the point of halacha, they're permissible. Now, they bring down here in the notes from the Tosfos Yontif that even according to Rabban Gamliel, Rabban Gamliel says that they are permissible. They are only permissible in the sense that they're not muktzah, that you can move them, but you can't eat them. Even according to Rabban Gamliel, in this case of a suffix, you can't eat them. Eating is considered more of an act of, that if it were to be muktzah, eating them would be considered a greater transgression, so to speak, of muktzah than them moving it. And therefore, although Rabban Gamliel said that we treat that muktzah is a rabbanan, And in a case of a Savik, in the case of a doubt, we should be lenient. Rabbi Gamliel still said we're only lenient regarding the aspect of muktzah that you can't move them. But to eat them, he felt he agreed they shouldn't be eaten. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.
What do I do with my cows?